Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. Well, India finally opens up to international vaccines. India is okay for emergency use authorization for vaccines cleared by the World Health Organization, the US, UK and Japan. That means Pfizer, Moderna, J&J can now come to India, but the US halts the J&J vaccine over worries over rare blood clots. Meanwhile, the Russian vaccine Sputnik is cleared. It will be available in India by the end of May, its CEO tells us. Maharashtra lockdown to be announced tonight. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray will address the state at 8:30 tonight. Lockdown is expected till April the 30th. Meanwhile, NDTV reports from Pune, which has currently the highest cases in the state. Gujarat's COVID crisis worsens. Crematoriums are ablaze with fires as deaths rise. Lines of ambulances outside the main city hospital. Delhi is now higher than Mumbai. The city gets ready as major private hospitals are also now COVID hospitals. Other patients are asked to leave. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's dharna against the Election Commission in Kolkata today. Meanwhile, a huge roadshow by Amit Shah despite EC COVID curbs. Amit Shah now says no plan for NRC now. After Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi, now the Delhi Chief Minister says there shouldn't be board exams in May. The Chief Minister says, I appeal with folded hands to the centre. Meanwhile, a CBSE controller of exams says that all will be well. We have taken all precautions. And festivals across India amidst our worst COVID crisis. Our lead story tonight, well, our cases continue to be over 1.5 lakhs. It's 1.61 lakhs in the last 24 hours. That's down 4% from the day before. Also, 879 deaths in the last day. Again, that's down from over 900 yesterday. However, it is the 7th straight day of over 1 lakh daily cases. If we just look at these numbers, we can see there that the spike is continuing, though there's a slight dip from yesterday. Let's just look at the states where there have been the biggest spikes, a 400 to 900% rise. There's 6 states where 2-week cases are growing the fastest, in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, well over 800%. Now, that's a worry because of poor healthcare facilities here. Assam and Jharkhand above 600%. Bengal and Orissa over 400%. That's a rise in cases in the last 2 weeks. And these are, of course, among some of India's most densely populated and poorer states. And let's just look at the global comparison. We continue to be the second worst hit nation overall in terms of cases. And we surpassed Brazil just yesterday. We're currently recording the daily high spike. And as I just said, so the US regulator has recommended that the J&J vaccine shot, as the single-dose shot, actually be paused in the United States. This comes among reports of rare and unusual blood clots. Now, remember, blood clots is also an issue which is being raised with the AstraZeneca vaccine. So, currently, the US FDA has said that they're pausing to actually review these rare cases of blood clots. Well, the other big headline across the country, stories coming in of trauma, unimaginable grief as hospitals are under pressure and families say that oxygen, medical supplies are running out. These scenes from a hospital in Maharashtra where families of patients who died, 7 patients who died in an ICU here. The families say they were not given oxygen because oxygen supply had run out. The hospital denies this. But these are scenes that we are seeing from across India. And currently, we know that the Maharashtra Chief Minister will actually be addressing the state at 8:30 tonight. We'll be live on that. A lockdown is expected to be announced tonight. What are actually going to be the main things? Well, what will remain open? Long-distance trains will run. Flights will also be allowed. Post-travel quarantine and testing is to be enforced strictly. Local trains will run, but only for essential workers, and buses will run only with seated passengers. Also, milk stores, chemists, grocery shops will remain open, but all offices will remain shut except essential services, and work from home to be encouraged by private firms. Banks, financial services, IT services will, however, function. What will be banned will be gathering of groups of over 5 people. So that's expected to be announced later tonight at 8:30 till the 30th of April. And going across to our ground reports from across Maharashtra, which is the worst hit state in India. Well, NDTV's Sohit Mishra has travelled over 1,000 kilometres in Maharashtra Today he's in Pune, which is actually the worst hit district in Maharashtra.
While Maharashtra is reporting the highest number of COVID cases in the country, it is Pune district that is reporting the highest number of COVID cases across the state. But despite that, what we are seeing is that the social distancing that should have been maintained isn't being maintained in Pune district. Right now we are in the APMC market. This is the vegetable side of the APMC market, and what we can see is that people in large numbers are stepping out in the market and they are buying the produce over here. Joining me right now is Dr. Sudhir Patchote, who is the superintendent over here. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Sir, the first question would be, we are seeing that the highest number of cases are being recorded in Pune. What is the condition of Naidu Hospital?
Right now, all the beds in Naidu Hospital are occupied by hypoxic patients. We have a 8 to 10 bed casualty, which is also full with patients. What we have found that most of the hospitals don't have any vacancy, and we are having a very tough time when we have to find a place for the patients in some other hospital.
We are right now in the exact war room that has been created. On my right, you will be seeing 16 telephone booths that has been created where the people are calling. A number has been given by the Pune Municipal Corporation where people can call and ask about the beds or also inform about the condition of their patients. So there are several such files that are being created as well. So what we are saying is there are around 16 booths. So how many calls do you get throughout the day, and what are the calls mostly for? What is the most inquiry that is happening as of now?
Right now for the 24 hours we are receiving 900 averagely calls. For the right now in the last week we have just got the more inquiries for the ICU and ventilator bed.
कितना दूर से आप पेशेंट लेके आ रहे हैं, कितने दिन से बेड ढूंढ रहे थे, क्या परेशानी हुई?
मैं 3 दिन से बेड ढूंढ रहा था, तो हमारे यहाँ पे जैसे O2 का बेड चाहिए था, O2 का बेड चाहिए था, तो हेल्पलाइन पे भी कॉल किया था, तो उधर से रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं आ रहा था तुरंत, तो यहाँ पे अपना जम्बो कोविड में हो गया है.
So that's what people are going through in Pune. But the big worry also now is India's capital, which is fast becoming the city with the biggest worry, because in fact we've overtaken Bombay. We've got more cases in Delhi than Mumbai in the last 48 hours. That's why, well, the government is now in emergency mode here. The Chief Minister announced yesterday, the Health Ministry announced yesterday of Delhi that they'll take over 14 hospitals, including Delhi's big private hospitals. So that means they're only COVID hospitals. So where do the other patients go? We have this ground report.
Today's record high is the third consecutive day that Delhi recorded over 10,000 cases. It is also day one of 14 major private hospitals being co-opted by the government as COVID-dedicated hospitals. The non-COVID patients in these hospitals are now hassled. Veena Goel's 82-year-old mother, Saroj Gupta, a cardiac patient, has been admitted for 12 days. Today, she was told she is being discharged as the hospital is now only for COVID patients.
I wasn't really surprised when I read about it yesterday night in the news that 14 hospitals and this particular hospital, so we were really scared. But it was, I would say, thanks be to God that she is stable, and of course at home we have made some arrangements. We have a nurse and a dedicated room.
Others are less fortunate. 23-year-old Himanshu Gilodia came from 45 kilometers away just outside Delhi for his hip replacement surgery scheduled today, but was turned back.
दिक्कत तो हुई आने जाने में, लेकिन अब क्या बताएं, अब डॉक्टर ही ऑपरेट नहीं करे तो क्या दिक्कत. उन्होंने अब पहले ये बोला था कि आज का डेट दिया था, देन फिर अब बोल रहे हैं कि जब तक अब कल शाम को जैसे गाइडलाइन शुरू हुई है कि कोरोना के उससे अब क्या कहते हैं बाद में एडमिट करेंगे.
The Delhi Chief Minister made this appeal.
जो प्लान्ड सर्जरीज हैं अपनी, जैसे मान लीजिए किसी को नी रिप्लेसमेंट कराना है, किसी को ये महीना 2 महीना 3 महीना डिले हो सकते हैं. जो इमरजेंसीज होंगी दिल्ली में उसके लिए अभी भी सफिशिएंट कैपेसिटी है अपने पास कोविड बीमारियों के लिए. कई सारे अस्पताल अभी भी हैं, लेकिन जो प्लान्ड सर्जरीज हैं वो ज़्यादा होती हैं, इमरजेंसीज कम होती हैं, वो अब हम थोड़ा सा डिले कर लें.
The numbers too reflect that it's the COVID patients that are in greater danger, with 91% of the ICU beds for COVID patients occupied as compared to 74% for non-COVID patients.
With Delhi recording over 10,000 cases on a daily basis, COVID patients definitely need to be the priority. But the government will have to ensure that non-COVID patients do not become collateral damage in this process. In New Delhi with camera person Sushil Rathi, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.
And there's been so much focus in Maharashtra and Delhi, but a crisis that has been ignored until the Gujarat High Court intervened is what's currently happening in Gujarat. Here, crematoriums are ablaze with pyres throughout the day and night as deaths are rising. Outside Ahmedabad's main city hospital, lines of ambulances with patients inside because there are no beds in the hospital to accommodate them. So the patients are just waiting, in some cases dying in the ambulances.
Ambulances with corona patients lined up outside Ahmedabad's main hospital for COVID care, the civil hospital. The facility clearly unable to cope with the rush of patients. Gujarat is among the worst affected states in the second wave of COVID. More than 6,000 new infections and 55 deaths were reported from the state on Monday. The main hospital for COVID, the Ahmedabad Civil Hospital, ran out of beds, and a long line of ambulances could be seen outside the hospital with COVID patients inside awaiting treatment. Medical help like oxygen had to be provided by paramedics to patients inside the waiting ambulances till the patients were accommodated.
टोटल अभी मेडिसिटी कैंपस में 2008 पेशेंट दाखिल है। टोटल कैपेसिटी 2120 की है। कल की रात की जो बात करूं मैं तो हमारे यहाँ 108 जो एम्बुलेंस लाइन में थी वो सब पेशेंट को हमने पूरी रात लिया है। जितना भी पेशेंट आता है हम किसी को मना नहीं किया है। सब पेशेंट को हमने यहाँ 1200 बेड में लिया है।
At crematoriums, a queue to find a pyre free. In this video from Surat, bodies being cremated out in the open as crematoriums are overflowing. Non-stop burning of bodies has also led to the melting of gas furnaces at 3 major crematoriums in Surat city. That Gujarat could well be approaching a health emergency of sorts were concerns expressed by the Gujarat High Court that will take up for hearing again on Thursday a suo motu PIL on the COVID situation in the state. The court had observed, why are remdesivir injections being sold at such a high price? If oxygen and beds are available, why do people need to stand in a queue? The court had asked. In the meantime, the impact of the epidemic. Shops closed in Rajkot, and amidst a surge in cases in Surat, crowds of migrant workers have begun thronging bus stands looking for a way to return home, fearing another lockdown. NDTV Bureau Report.
The real stories from across India and Madhya Pradesh as well. Hit by a second COVID wave, the state's health infrastructure is struggling to cope. So here a gardener is doubling up as a COVID sample collector in the MP Health Minister's constituency. Health workers have been hit by the pandemic, so he's been authorized to collect COVID samples in Madhya Pradesh. They're doing whatever they can to cope. So the health officials here say he's been trained to collect COVID samples. This, even though he doesn't have a PPE suit as he's collecting the samples, so of course a possible risk to him there as well. But our special report now from Madhya Pradesh, Anurag Dwari, is reporting that is the Madhya Pradesh government actually concealing data of COVID deaths? Because whereas the official deaths is one number, crematoriums are flooded. Even from one crematorium, which we report from in Bhopal, there's more deaths than what is seen as the overall state's death toll.
Scary pictures at the Bhadbhada crematorium in Bhopal.
84 में गैस कांड के पीड़ित के बाद दूसरा ये वक्त है जो हमको देखना पड़ रहा है। उस समय मैं 9th क्लास में था। 9th क्लास के बाद आज 50 साल की एज में आज पहली बार मुझे दूसरा मंजर देखने को मिलता है। अभी तक यहाँ 30 से 40 लाशें जो जलाई जाती है जो भी कोविड से रिलेटेड।
And now concerns are being raised on whether the state is actually reporting the correct death toll due to COVID. There were 37 COVID bodies at this single crematorium in Bhopal on Monday. The health bulletin for that day mentioned a total of 37 deaths in the entire state. Scenes at the crematorium, a clear mismatch with the COVID fatality figures from the state.
3-4 घंटे से बैठे हुए हैं। डेड बॉडी जो है कि हमारी वो रखी हुई है वहाँ पर। अब चारों तरफ जो है डेड बॉडियाँ जल रही हैं। वहाँ क्रियाक्रम करना तो कर ही नहीं सकते, इतनी जल्दी वेट करना पड़ रहा है। जितनी बॉडी है उसके हिसाब से यहाँ पे जगह नहीं है, आप खुद भी देखिए।
NDTV studied the fatality figures over a period of 5 days and found inconsistencies. Sample this. On the 8th of April, 41 bodies were cremated in Bhopal under the COVID-19 protocol. But the medical bulletin that day said that there were 27 deaths because of COVID in the entire state. On the 9th of April, 35 bodies were cremated in Bhopal. 23 as per the government bulletin in the entire state, though the government maintains that no underreporting is taking place.
सरकार की कोई मंशा नहीं है कि किसी भी तरह की मृत्यु के आंकड़े को छुपाया जाए और वो छुपा के किसी तरह का हमें कोई अवार्ड नहीं मिलने वाला, ऐसा कहीं भी कोई मंशा नहीं।
Crematorium workers highlight their problems from running out of wood to blisters all over their hands.
100-150 कुंटल लकड़ी जा रही है डेली परमानेंटली।
अच्छा, रोज के कितने जल जाते हैं?
यहाँ एक रोज 40, 45, 30, 32 आज गाड़ी आ रही है डेली।
While Madhya Pradesh is battling a surge in COVID-19 cases and lockdown, the dead and the kin are crying for a decent cremation. In the second wave of pandemic, crematoriums are clearly flooded. But if you see the government bulletin, the administration is clearly fudging with the data. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan, Anurag Bari for NDTV.
Just look at the trauma and grief COVID patients and their families are going through. But in other parts of India, it's, well, life as usual, if it's politics or religious gatherings. Look at these shots this evening at the Mahakumbh. This is a 50% spike has been reported in daily cases in Hardwar. That's where the Mahakumbh is being held. Over 1,000 cases in the last 48 hours. The huge spike in cases, well, coming amid the Mahakumbh. Directly, it can be directly attributed to that. But even though the Uttarakhand government says that curbs are in place, just look at these visuals. Just yesterday, there were about 35 lakh devotees at the Shahi Snan. Tomorrow is another major Shahi Snan where again lakhs of devotees will be out tomorrow as well. And politics as usual as well. Home Minister Amit Shah's huge roadshow in West Bengal today, and also West Bengal Chief Minister, whose dharna has just finished, a 24-hour ban by the Election Commission has just finished, is going to be addressing a rally right now as we speak. You can see her women supporters dancing there. It's all about, well, the excitement of elections. Who cares about COVID? Let's also look at the top political updates of what happened there today.
Her public appearances are always dramatic. Today was also dramatic but very different. No crowds, no slogans, but great optics. You cannot campaign for 24 hours, the EC ordered last evening, for violating the Model Code of Conduct in speeches earlier this month. This her silent protest.
At the foot of the Gandhi Murti, sitting in splendid isolation is what I am calling it. Mamata Banerjee over there. This is a most novel protest. These pictures will go down in history, whatever the outcome of the West Bengal elections.
Jai Gorkha! Fighting for an outcome in BJP's favour, Amit Shah in Darjeeling. Also dramatic. On 20th December, he had said no CAA in Bengal till after COVID vaccinations. Now he said no NRC. Both issues have roiled politics in Bengal.
मैंने कहा भाई एनआरसी कहाँ है, कौन लाने वाला है? अभी तो कोई योजना ही नहीं। ये दीदी आपको डरा रही है और डराकर उसके जुर्म आप भूल जाओ ऐसा करना चाहती है। एनआरसी की अभी कोई बात ही नहीं है, मगर भविष्य में भी आएगी। कोई गोरखा का बाल बांका कोई नहीं कर पाएगा।
Not a word at the dharna. Mamata reserved her fire for rallies after the EC's ban till 8 p.m.
This is a black day for Indian democracy. When you can't beat us, you ban us.
As Amit Shah and Rajnath Singh and JP Nadda canvassed for votes across Bengal for 3.5 hours at her dharna, Mamata Banerjee painted a different canvas. With Anirudh Tripathi, Monadeepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Well, a look at the other huge issue affecting lakhs of students and parents around the country. That's the CBSE exams, which are to be held in the first week of May. Today, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal joined Congress leaders Priyanka and Rahul Gandhi, who have appealed for these exams to either be cancelled or postponed or to be held online, saying, "I fold my hands," appealing to the centre, don't risk the lives of students. This, as the government has said absolutely nothing on this yet. In fact, state education ministers in BJP states say the exams must go ahead, and a CBSE exam controller said that by the grace of God, all will be well.
6 लाख बच्चे दिल्ली में CBSE के एग्ज़ाम में बैठेंगे। 1 लाख के करीब टीचर्स इसमें शामिल होंगे। ये बहुत बड़े हॉटस्पॉट्स बन सकते हैं, बहुत बड़े स्तर के ऊपर कोरोना फैल सकता है। बच्चों की ज़िंदगी, बच्चों की सेहत, बच्चों का स्वास्थ्य हमारे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। मेरी हाथ जोड़ के केंद्र सरकार से अपील है कि CBSE के एग्ज़ाम्स को कैंसिल किया जाए।
साहु सर, इसको जवाब को मैं कुछ है ना क्रिकेट टीम की तरीके से देना चाहूँगा पाकिस्तान की। इंशाल्लाह हम सब कुछ ठीक करेंगे।
And today, India celebrated as well festivals across India, but of course dampened by a worse COVID crisis. But the emotion, the fervour still there, as across India, celebrations for different festivals today, and of course the holy month of Ramzan beginning as well.